Hello and welcome back to the Monsters of Monster Hunter Double Cross, where today we've got to play with Giadrome, and the best quest for playing with Giadrome in G rank is this one right here, because it's got two of them. Also, it gives some of the books that you can use to retrain your cats and choose what they get, so it's a good quest to do. And it gives the Ace Attorney gear for your cats. So just all around, good quest. I don't need to go to the item box. This is a cat quest. And we get this music. Got mount hits on both of them. Yeah, when you're fighting the smaller bird wyverns, you always got to do something to make them actually last, like at all. So in this case, the cat that I'm actually playing as is level 45, so my damage output should help them survive longer, and then also the fact that there's two of them here is also a thing. But just in general, these bird wyverns aren't great. I'm not gonna lie. They are among the worst of the bird wyverns in the series. Like, Giadrome is one step above Velocidrome, and Velocidrome is so much worse than the more modern ones. Great Jaggy, Great Macau, both of those are much better early game bird wyverns. Much better. And yet, because these ones came first, they tend to be more popular for reasons that are basically just nostalgia. Like, from a gameplay perspective, I don't know a single person who would say that these bird wyverns are better than the modern ones. Not a single one. I mean, sure, they might exist, but I don't see how. Because these guys, they bite, they spit, they jump. That's their whole deal. They're twitchy. They look weird. Like, they really could have used a Gen 3 Plus update like the Wraths and the Bloses got. The way their necks move in particular is just odd. Though admittedly the animation isn't quite as bad as it was actually back in Gen 2. Back then, especially the Preys, they would break their necks when doing their little bark up at the sky type deal. But yeah, Giadrome, they didn't used to have Ice Blight. Because Ice Blight didn't used to be a thing. They just spat snowman at you. In snowball form. But other than that, they're white Velocidromes, which actually, in Monster Hunter 1, there were white Velociprey, which later were renamed Giaprey and given their snow spit attack that causes Ice Blight now, but used to not exist, I think. I don't recall Giadrome being able to spit anything in the past. They might have been able to. My memory's not perfect, and I honestly didn't spend too much time fighting them in the older games, especially because the only older game I played was Freedom Unite. There, down slopes. Shame I can't use this cannon despite being a cat. It's kind of silly if it just sits there and can't be used again. Like, what's the point of it sitting there if it can't be used? Why doesn't it break like all the other cat things that can't be used anymore? Is it just that... Oh, I can use it. I guess I had to wait for it to cool down? Pow! Ha! That's fun. We're probably going to end up having to do more Giadromes. Because I don't see this one lasting much longer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to gather this sparkly. Hooray for claws. Shame all the praise are gone. They at least kept things slightly interesting on this quest. Oh no, I am Snowcat. Snowcats are adorable, by the way. Like, Capcom didn't have to make them Snowcats, but they did. Oh, I'm pissed now. Let's go take advantage of it. Yeah, we do have Ice Blight. Might as well get rid of it. Oh, hey, look, it's more Giadromes. It's kind of interesting that Giadrome was the last of the classic bird wyverns to be added. Classic, this kind of bird wyverns. Or no, Garuga was added before these guys. So yeah, this is the most modern of the pre-Gen 3 bird wyverns. Well, I guess Hypnocratrix actually takes that title, but Hypnocratrix hasn't shown up again since Freedom Unite, mainly because it was first introduced in Frontier, and I guess there was some stink raised about Frontier monsters coming to non-Frontier games, because Frontier has a subscription, and people were like, hey, we have to pay to fight this thing, and how come they get it for free with their game? But, I mean, Lavasioth came back, so who knows? I do know that Hypnocratrix and Lavasioth were actually designed before they were put into Frontier. Like, they were designed for main series, and then Frontier took them. There. Now we're protected from that side of the arena. Well, they certainly made the texture on the gate nice, but they did not make it any thicker. The actual gatey part of the gate, like the lattice here, is still a 2D texture. Nice shadow, though. But yeah, who knows when or if Hypnocratrix will ever come back. But aside from Hypnocratrix, Giadrome is the most recent of the Gen 2 bird wyverns. And I say that literally every bird wyvern introduced since Gen 2 has been better than all of the ones in Gen 2. That is my personal opinion. And I'm going to stick to it. And that even includes Deadeye Garuga, even though Deadeye Garuga I'm not a huge fan of, because it's still a Garuga. But I mean, it's a better Garuga. And yeah, we can do another Giadrome. But we're going to be a hunter. Because we don't need it to last too long. We're already around the 10-minute mark. I just want to make sure 100% that we get over it. We might be over it already, but still, doing another Giadrome. So, no, we want to be in G rank. So it'll be here in G1 somewhere. Looks like we might only be able to do it with nothing. This quest is for a Giadrome by itself, and if you don't agree with that assessment, then you're wrong. So off we go to fight a Giadrome and only a Giadrome, because that's the only monster in this quest, other than, like, Giaprey and other small monsters, of course. Yep, that right there is sure a lot of Bullfangos. And a really big pocket of air. Yep, I'm not jumping off of any kind of monster here. It's just air. It's really weird. This is a weird quest. I bet you didn't know switch axes could move around like that, but they can. Though I did mess up that trick by hitting X a few times too many early on. Really, it's a difficult trick to pull off, getting switch axes to just move like that. But it can be done. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. I mean, that's just logic right there. Yep. I just really had to fight some air, because there's definitely not a large monster here. There's only Bullfangos. I mean, this is just a Giadrome quest. I don't know why you would think that it could be anything else. I mean, I can even look at the quest info here. See, look. We just have to hunt one Giadrome. That's it. I see praise. I also see the dragons here. So let's go ahead and wave. Hey, look, it's a Giadrome. This is the only quest target in the quest. That much should be obvious by now. And if you think that it wasn't the only quest target, why are you so wrong, huh? Because, yeah, this quest definitely only asked for this Giadrome. That's it. Let's get rid of this ice plate. It's not good for aerial. So this Giadrome probably isn't going to last long. Just saying. Especially because it's already angry. Challenger 2 and weak exploit on angry Giadromes is generally not a recipe for keeping them around for a long time, especially when you then add in energy charge for even more crit. Though it seems it has learned to not be so angry at me. It has calmed down, but now it's angry again, and we were getting near constant crits. Buddy? You just limped this way. Why are you limping back that way? That's one of the silly things about monsters needing to take specific paths to leave an area. There it is. You bit me. Hey, look, it's dead. That sure was a quick only Giadrome and nothing else. I mean, if we take a look at this guy, it's clear that they didn't put quite as much effort into this guy's textures as some of the other monsters, but that's actually just fine because it's so small that you don't really need the things to look phenomenal. Plus, you're not really going to end up fighting too many Giadromes over the course of the game. Like, it looks like they just took the texture straight from the Gia Praise and just slapped it on this guy. Which makes sense. I mean, it's definitely a much more efficient use of the artist's time than just making a brand new texture set just for the drome. Yeah, these guys aren't really the monsters that you want to be showing off, so I can definitely understand not putting in the most effort on them. That sure is quite the burst of light and no monster at all. Wow, that was a gold large nothing that we fought. Gold larger. I'd thought it was a really big pocket of air. But hey, that is going to be it for this episode. Join us next time when we take on Velocidromes. A step backwards, but it's what's going to happen. See you then, friends.